Om Shanti. Welcome to this episode of Spiritually Speaking. We're in conversation with Sister Vidatri from Om Shanti Retreat Center, and we're talking about positivity, learning how to build a positive self-esteem, a positive attitude, and a positive personality to develop a positive lifestyle. Today we realize more than ever that health is truly the most valuable wealth. And in this episode, we will learn how our thinking patterns impact our state of well-being, our physical and mental health. Welcome to this episode, sister.
Thank you, Om Shanti.
In the first episode, we learned about the meaning of thinking positive and the benefits and importance of positive thinking. In this episode, we want to know if our thinking patterns have the power to impact who we are and who we become. Can our thinking patterns impact our state of well-being?
Yeah, definitely. Our thinking pattern is directly related to our well-being. So if you see the word well-being, it has two words, well and being. So what is the being? Being is the part of our entity which is able to think, which is able to feel, which is able to produce emotions and create attitudes, right? So how well is that being? That impacts our well-being, and the wellness of that being, the litmus test, the check that your being is well is by your thoughts. So it's a whole chain. The moment you receive any information from your surroundings and then you add your own experience to that information, that generates thoughts, and those thoughts that you generate within your mind, that create your feeling. So it depends on how well you're connected to your thought. So there are some thoughts that might just come and that might just go. You won't pay more attention to it. You won't continue those thoughts. You won't convert those thoughts into feelings. For example, this is this much is time. This is the temperature today. It's morning. It's evening. I need water. These are thoughts which you do not usually pay much attention to. But when some thoughts, they capture your attention, they generate energy flow. And your positive thoughts create feelings of positivity. By positivity, I mean it is peace, it is knowledge, it is love, it is happiness, it is bliss. So those information and your experiences which generate certain positive thoughts, they trigger positive feelings in you. And when you start expressing those feelings, that is called emotion. And when you are creating emotions, by that time you have already done so much of work internally. You have captured that thought has become your energy now, and then that energy accumulates and it makes your attitude. So if I'm positive, if my thinking, my attitude is positive, then my state of being becomes positive. And the positive state of being ensures a wellness. That is my well-being. So it is not just at one level, it definitely impacts your physical state, it impacts your mental state, your emotional state, and that has a direct relation with your relationships, your societal state, your spiritual state. So all of these are interlinked. So when I say well-being, I talk about it in very holistic terms.
We hear a lot of people recommend self-talk as a way to build a positive personality. But sister, we'd like to know, what is positive self-talk and how does it help us?
So self-talk is the information that I give to myself for any situation. So whatever I am doing in my mind is actually, my mind is receiving the information from outside, and it's also listening to what I tell to myself. For example, let me just take an example and explain it to you. For example, you're a working professional, you are working and your office has declared holiday or work from home for all of you. But the same thing happened previous week also. It was a work from home for everybody. It was probably a holiday for everybody. But you particular or your team had a lot of work pressure, and even though it was work from home for everybody else, you had to come to the office to do something which was very pressing, very urgent. So it wasn't a work from home, that didn't apply on you. Now this time also the company, your organization has declared a work from home. So the moment you listen to the word work from home, the first thought that might come to you is finally, or maybe thank God, or it should be. I mean, in these times it is not just a luxury, it's a safety measure. So you will think good about it. But then you remind yourself and you say, पिछली बार भी कहाँ मिला था, right? मिले तो देखूँ ना, होने दो पहले. So the moment you add that negative experience to your information, the result will be you will not be happy, you will not be feeling safe, you will be feeling मुझे तो आना ही पड़ेगा, फ़ायदा क्या हुआ, right? So these kind of things, it is negative in this case, in the example. This can also be positive in some cases, right? For example, you listen कि इतने cases बढ़ गए, and then you think that it's okay, ठीक भी तो हो रहे हैं लोग. So now whatever information, negative or positive, you are getting from the environment, you are adding your own psyche, you're adding your own logic, you're adding your own reasons to it. So what you add onto that information becomes your self-talk. It can be a positive self-talk for a positive information. It can be a positive self-talk for a negative information. It can also be a negative self-talk for a positive or a negative situation or information. So your total, what finally your feelings will be, what will be your attitude, it does not only depend on the information, whether positive or negative. It highly matters on your self-talk, because you are the one who are listening to your words very deeply and almost always.
Sister, experts recommend positive self-talk as a way to boost and enhance performance. Sportspersons, pressurized jobs, and people in stressful work conditions are often encouraged to engage in positive self-talk to boost their performance and to keep stable. How does positive self-talk really help us in improving our state of well-being?
Yeah, this reminds me, not just sports person, but if you see the history, there's so many different slogans that we use. For example, the Khalsa, whenever they go for something, they say, Jai, Jo Bole So Nihal, Sasri Akal. Then you say Jai Mata Di. You're climbing the Vaishno Devi's footsteps, or you are, going on a pilgrimage and you are feeling tired. But the moment you listen to the words Jai Mata Di, you start, that energy pumps in you. Praan jaye par vachan na jaye, sar kata denge, lekin sar jhukayenge nahi. The moment you listen to patriotic songs, right, you feel that current in your body. You feel that push of energy in your body. So what is happening exactly is that whatever you're listening, that your body doesn't know words. It does not know words. It does not know. Only your mind. Your mind has a language. If I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking in Hindi or English because I know you understand this language, Hindi or English. If you would have been another audience which would have, understood Chinese or some other, either I would speak in that language or I would use an interpreter who would translate my language to your language. So our mind actually has a language. Our mind understands colors. Our mind understands sounds. Our mind understands music, graphics, pictures. It does not understand words. But each and every word, you're associating each and every word to some image. You're associating each and every word to some feeling. And when you speak that word, it's actually that image that comes to your mind. It's actually that feeling that crops up in your mind. And that is what your mind processes. So if you want to use your self-talk as a tool to become a positive thinker or a positive personality, associate words with positive images. So by that I mean to say is, if I'm talking to Raghav, I will associate Raghav with a person who's creative, a person who is very logical. So the moment I think about Brother Raghav, creativity comes in my mind, feelings of creativity, feelings of this. So associate every person with something positive. So know what's positive in the person, associate them with that. And whenever you remind yourself of any object, any person, any situation, that positive association comes up in your mind, and that becomes your self-talk. You are talking to yourself positively about any situation, about any person.
In the current times, we're taking all the precautions that we can to stay safe, to stay healthy. But now that we understand that our thinking patterns also directly impact our state of well-being and health. What precautions should we take while thinking to maintain a healthy state of being and to contribute to our good health?
So when I talk about the present times, it's very sure that the information that I'm getting is highly negative. It's of great concern. We are always talking about how many cases, what's the symptoms, new strain, no vaccine, no bed, nothing. I mean, that sort of information. So we are exposed to a very negative external environment. But we are not at the mercy of the environment. Let's not always feel that there's direct relation of information and the thoughts we produce. Definitely the information is the raw material which our mind processes to create thoughts. But then I have always an option to add my own experiences, to add my own reasoning, my own logic to it. So if I'm exposed to a highly negative atmosphere where the information I receive is highly negative, then it is my duty, my responsibility towards myself that I create counter thoughts and I create counter information to nullify the negative effect of the information I get from outside. For example, if you are exposed to information like itne cases ho gaye, this is the medical condition, it's crashing and everything like that, then find out the information, kitne cases theek bhi hue, right? How many NGOs have contributed to, either they are donors, they are providing oxygen, they are providing tiffin to the patients. So also expose yourself. You won't find them very easily, but then you have to look for sources. You have to do, because it's your responsibility. So you have to find out sources of positive information. And spirituality and meditation, if you're not able to get it from outside, it helps you to generate that within yourself. Feelings of hope, thinking pattern of positivity, of compassion for others, of self-care, all these things we can create. So in the present scenario, to ensure complete well-being, I don't have to just leave myself at the mercy of the information I get from outside, social media, etc. Try to think, try to see the things which are not clearly visible to you, but then that they exist in the environment. Try to remind yourself of the challenges that you have already overcome in your life in the past. All these will become sources of energy for you through which you can easily create positive thoughts and proceed further.
Thank you so much. This brings me to my next question, and that is, how can positive thinking help me improve my physical health and mental health?
That's a very nice question, and this reminds me of many researches that we have done in the past. So my thinking pattern, definitely it first improves my mental health, and then the result of that mental health is seen on my physical health, right? We always say jaisa hoga man waisa hoga tan, and it's not just an age-old saying, it has been scientifically proven. There have been different tests on this. So what happens in the body, actually, if you see your body physically, it's a system of so many different organs, so many different chemicals. So it has physical energy, it has biological energy, it has chemical energy, and it also has spiritual and mental energies in it. So there are so many different parts of the body, and there are so many different subtleties of the body. How does your heart know what your legs are doing? How does your legs know what your kidney is doing? How does your kidney know what your lungs are doing? But they're all interconnected. If something happens somewhere in the body, all different body parts are given those signals. Now what happens is, if you talk about positive thinking, you might have noticed if there's a very pleasant evening today and it's raining, it's drizzling, you're sitting in your balcony, you're sipping a cup of coffee or tea or your favorite beverage, and you see the nature, you're admiring the nature, you must have experienced that you won't be thinking too much. Your thoughts will be slowed down, your thoughts will be serene, they will be calm, you will be enjoying the moment. But if you're thinking negative, even in this situation, if you're thinking negative, the first thought comes, ऐसा क्यों हुआ? Then immediately the next one comes, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था, ये नहीं होता तो ये होता, ऐसा क्यों किया? What if this? So when you think negative, You're not in the moment. You are blaming, you're complaining, you are cribbing about the past, you are worrying about the future. So you're not in the present. So your thoughts from everywhere come and they crowd in your mind. They create a traffic jam in your mind. And the rate of our thinking has a direct effect on your physical health, on your physical well-being. So for example, you see a bear or you see a lion. Now you have internally mapped that information, a lion or a bear, with the feeling of danger, the feeling of fear. So the moment you receive that trigger, you start thinking about danger, you start thinking about fear. So your body doesn't know whether you've seen a bear or whether you are just dreaming about it. It's physical, it's just your imagination, the body doesn't know. What the body knows is that you are creating feelings of danger. And those feelings create chemical energies in the body which are circulated through blood throughout the body, and each and every body part responds to it. So your heart is given the signal, pump more blood, because you might have to do a lot of more work. So you need a faster pressure of blood. Your lungs are told deep breathly, deep fast, increase the rate of inhalation and exhalation. So you need more oxygen. And then your legs are said you need to run. So be more active. Your adrenaline glands, every body part is signaled. So the body doesn't know whether the situation is hypothetical or it's real, but it starts working accordingly. And each and every body part has to do more effort, more work. It gets exhausted. And the amount of work that we do, it creates toxins. Less amount of work, less toxins. More amount of work, more toxins in the body are created. Now a body has a certain limit to tolerate toxins. There are billions of cells and there are lakhs of toxins released in the body in 1 second. But if each cell produces 1 extra toxin in a second, imagine there are billions of toxins produced collectively in the body. Now the body does not have the capacity to handle with these extra toxins. Now they remain in your body, and whichever body part is weaker in the body, it might be your knees, it might be your gallbladder, your stomach, your kidneys, whatever it is, your arteries, they start accumulating there and they take form of either cholesterol, heart blockages, cysts, stones, different type of malfunctionings in the body. So when you think positive, you give your body relaxation, you give your mind certain space to create good things, to create good feelings, and that impacts your mental health. And jaisa hoga man, waisa hoga tan.
Thank you, sister. So far we've talked about how can positive thinking help us build a positive state of well-being, and how can our thinking patterns prevent a lot of our diseases and keep us safe and healthy. But let us say someone is diagnosed with a disease, let us say someone tests positive for COVID, for thyroid, for blood pressure, or for diabetes, or for any other disease. How can positive thinking then help us? Can it help reduce the damage? Can it help us in speedy recovery? How does positive thinking help us as a patient?
I would say definitely, because for example, you're undergoing a particular medication. So your medication involves certain medicines that will do the healing process of your body, because your body, actually our body has its own healing process. If we are working in normal conditions, my mind and my body is in perfect synchronization, I have positive energy in my body will heal myself. There are so many, every day we are exposed to different types of bacteria, viruses, but not all bacteria affect us, because our body has its own protection mechanism, fighting mechanism. Our body is an army, right? So that army fights all the infections, all the bacteria and everything, or whatever damage is being caused. Our body, the day we are born, that same day the wear and tear of body started. All the old cells are dying out, the new cells are being created. So our body is constantly in a renewal process. But what creates the damage in the body, or because you said recovery process, so that means a damage has already been done in the body. So what has caused that damage is because the amount of wear and tear or the amount of infections were too much for the body to handle. So the body could not do it by itself, it needs certain aid. So those extra army is imported in the body in form of medicines. Now that will do its own part, right? But along with those medications, and in the process of medication, you need to follow certain precautions. So if you're diabetic, your insulin injections or your medicines are what's your medication, but then you are also told meetha mat khana. You are eating meetha, you're eating sweet, your intake of sweet is still there, and you are still having the medicines for diabetes. That won't really help. The medicines will do their part, but then your precautions, that will also help in the speedy recovery. So what I do in my mind is actually helping all my body parts to create their best energy so that the recovery process is increased. So we are our own doctors. Whatever help you're taking from outside in the form of medicines, that will do their work, but your body is your body. If the first person who has an impact, who has an authority, or who has the key to change your body process is you, your own mind. पड़ोसी तो बाद में change करेगा ना. It's your home, so you have the first right to change it. So it's your body. Your thinking process allows your body parts, allows your body to create the best energy for which it is tuned, for which it is manufactured, and then the help is done through the medicines. You can't rely on medicines completely for your complete health. You can't live on medicines for the whole, there have been researches, we call it the CAD project, coronary artery disease. It was first taken up by Brahma Kumaris in association with the DRDO when Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was the head of DRDO. And without the need of angioplasty, patients with more than 90% of blocked arteries, with meditation techniques, simple medication and lifestyle changes, their heart blockages were cleared without doing angioplasty. Because your body has immense power. You only need to tap that power. You only need to understand that power and use it in the right way. That's what your mind does. That's what positive thinking does. And now it's the project of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India.
Thank you so much, sister, for joining us for this second episode and telling us how our thinking patterns impact our state of well-being, helping us understand the interconnectivity and the relationship between our health and our thinking process.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
I hope we all now understand the importance of positive thinking, positive self-talk, and will now try to build a positive personality. In the next episode, we will talk about how positivity can help us build harmonious relationships at home and help us all just live happy in a family. Stay tuned on Spiritually Speaking. Om Shanti.